Play full game. Entering team select screen. The Kansas City Chiefs, the home team, are selected. Ready.
It's the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super WildCard Weekend. It's the Raiders and the Chiefs, next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to chilly, but of course sold out, GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Entering play call screen.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
And there's really no underestimating or downplaying the incredible regular season he had throwing the football. When you throw for over 5,000 yards, that's a monster season. He's got an offense that's certainly capable of doing damage in the postseason as well. But he also understands that defense tends to win championships in the playoffs. He wants to find a way to set that aside and advance his team.
Unplanned error, player error, formation, play type error, RPO, run, pass, quick pass error, sick, wise kick.
Carr right away going to look to throw. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. That's exactly what he got done there.
6 categories. You have 30. Play type, error, run. Inside handoff. AHP blunt dive, empty and AHP plunge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. It was Bryant Cook who made the tackle. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
Shotgun pass, convex inside cross, spot, inside cross.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the pass passing game, and you know you create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And he comes off of a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing, and now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose, or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
Play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Bilal Nichols able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, you can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell the guys, dress for the weather, and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Entering play call, AHD blunt dive. Play type, RPO, run, pass. Quick pass, there, Y stick.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Triangle
Here's
button.
Carr.
Circle button.
Out to Cole on the right side. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Play tight, run. Pass, run. Inside handoff, AHD, inside zone split.
On second down, Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Entering play call, inside, AHD blunt dive. Empty and AHD plunge. Inside zone split.
Inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18.
Cross button.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Trucks over him. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are 7 categories. AHD blunt, inside zone split.
So first and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Jacobs will cross the line. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options. Pad attempt is selected.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0
Entering
game.
play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. A gain of 3, second down.
Not the kind of gain that will go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mahomes going to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. Finding room at midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Now Mahomes. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. To throw, it's Mahomes. Now a swing pass, it's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mahomes to throw once more. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes finding Edwards-Helaire once again. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. 3rd and 7 now.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to break down.
Dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Butker's kick here is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
Entering play clock. Inside zone split.
What now?
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Pass, stem, shotgun pass, play action, hugger, puck, close puck cross.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Cross button.
Now they'll throw with Carr.
R1 button.
Rolling
R1
to his
button.
left. Looking deep for Adams.
Triangle button.
And he knocks the ball away, and it
Entering
falls
play call.
incomplete.
Play action
That
pass.
one brought back a few nightmares because when the quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leap behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
CTR rattle. A punt go.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They fake the handoff. Now
Cross
Carr.
button.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Good job in coverage there. They took away his time lead on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Max Crosby. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
We said it before the game. I think it's still a pass. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. They don't get it all back there, but they do get 8. And it sets up a 3rd and 15.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Returnable here from the 38. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Entering play call. Play type. There. Run. Pass. Play action. Converts. A post Y cross.
Play action. Now it's Carr.
R1 button.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Triangle button.
They'll set up a throw. Got an open man, Keelan Cole.
And
he'll be brought down just shy of 40.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
R1 button. Circle
Card
button.
out a throw.
R1 button.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Entering play call.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Once again, it's Jacobs. Oh, able to avoid him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 83 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Entering play call, inside handoff, play, RPO, run, pass, quick pass, error, Y stick. Circle button.
To throw his car.
R1 button.
The connection with his running back, Josh Jacobs. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Circle button. Cross button.
Throwing now is Carr. Touchdown! Keelan Cole, a 5-yard touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, I give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Run, pass, quick pass, Y stick.
So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2.
Circle button.
Carr will look to throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Entering play call, special teams. You had 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Mahomes to MVS there for the Kansas City first.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Edwards-Helaire on the counter, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
6 categories.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away.
R2 button.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Entering play clock. AHD inside zone split.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Entering plate. Inside zone split.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Jacobs going to try the middle. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And some space here. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
137 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Entering play call. AHB inside zone split.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Going on the ground with Jacobs. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
They run it with Jacobs. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
MTMH to plunge.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Formation, play, personnel, error, favorites, play type, error, RPO, run, pass, quick pass, Y stick.
Josh McDaniels, he's got faith in his offense, so he's going to have him go for 2.
Square button.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think it's just a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Entering play call, special teams, you have 6 options, kickoff left is selected.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
Entering play call, coach suggestions, there are 6 categories.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to get down and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Entering play call, coach suggestions, there are 6 categories.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them bind and setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
There's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field.
We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
From the 36, Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride. Oh, the ball is out. Edwards-Helaire lost it. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
It's pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
And a nice job there, skipping away from the one tackle and ends up getting 5 yards out of that. 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jacobs now. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Now Carr.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Inside zone split.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
second down. Jacobs once more.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Throwing his car on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
And Kansas City's offense now set ready to go.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
3rd catch in this first half for him, and this one is a first down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
Entering play call, coach suggestions.
A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are
Carlson now to add the extra point.
15 options. Add event is selected.
And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
takes it at the 7. And able to get this out to the 25.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Entering play call.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup at 7. Past the 30 to the 32.
Mahomes throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Mahomes to throw once more.
Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Finding Edwards-Helaire once again. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Butker's kick here is good, and that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. From the 6.
R2 button.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We had great action yesterday, and this, the first of 3 more games coming at you here on Wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's AFC wildcard game. And it was the New York Jets who keep their season alive, as they were able to take care of the Indianapolis Colts. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And you'll see they've continued to run the ball well. It's been a staple of theirs all year as they look to move forward in these playoffs. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Plenty of adjustments likely being made by both teams
selected.
in their respective locker rooms. To find out who advances to the divisional round, let's get you back out to Brandon God.
Defend outside run. Defend medium pass. Defend deep pass.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Selected.
Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3.
Entering play call.
Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest, but now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And again, it's Mahomes.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll look to throw again. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
His favorite target, Travis Kelsey, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Mahomes.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Entering play call, play type. There are 8 categories. There are 6 subcategories. Option is set to quick pass. 13 plays. You have 4 options. Pass is selected. Run. Inside hand. AHB blunt. Inside zone split.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
180 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Entering play call, inside handoff, AHB, inside zone split.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, he shifts past him. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are 7 categories. You have 50 options. Empty and AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. A little juke. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 1st downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are AHB blunt dive. Empty and AHB plunge. Inside zone split.
Running it with Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. But hold everything because Darren Waller, the tight end, appears to be injured on that play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are AHB, inside zone split. Entering instant call, chat, coach, option, coaching, pop, offensive audible, medical center is selected. Entering, player name D. Waller, position T, injury type leg, injury length TBD, injury length 1 week, injury length 3 weeks, injury length TBD. Injury type pulled groin. Position LG. Player name J. Simpson. You entering franchise screen. You have 8 options. Resume is selected.
On On second down, Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A post white cross.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now a play fake. Carr on the move to his left.
Triangle button.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So it figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
Entering play clock. Converts. A post white. Close cross. A post white cross.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Play action. Now it's Carr. Out to his left. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And while we may be looking at the scoring down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter, I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Outside handoff. Inside. Page. Inside zone split. Inside zone. Inside zone split.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run. All right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
MTNH, play high, RP, run, pass. Quick pass, Hail Mary, quick pass, Y stick.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
Cross button.
Here's Carr to throw.
R1 button.
Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Entering play call, inside handoff, there's HB block, inside zone split.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Cross button.
Now a carry for Jacobs. Oh, a good move at the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. My goodness, 225 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Entering play call, AHP blunt die, play type, RPO, special, pass, run, pass, quick pass, errors, Y stick.
Here's Carr.
Triangle button.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Keelan Cole, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far.
Entering play call, special teams, who have 6 options, kickoff left is selected.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
From the 6. And he returns this to the 22.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Mahomes to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. He'll look to throw.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Fielded at the 43. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by the length of the football for a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are 7 categories. You have 50 options. Empty and AHB plunge is selected. AHB blunt dive, inside zone split.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Cross button.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are 7 categories. You have 50 options. Empty and AHB plunge is selected. AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split. And around leg.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Cross button.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Spacing switch. Gun plan, player, formation, play type, personnel, play type, RPO, run. Inside, AHB blunt dive.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this
Entering
3rd quarter.
Play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options. Field goal 46 yards is selected. Gun plan. There are 8. Player. There are 8 formation. There are play type. RPO. Run. Pass. Run. Inside. AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split. Cross button.
They go with Jacobs.
R2 button. R2 button.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Remember, that was fourth and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up right into a quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute, because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Cross button.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Inside zone split.
Second and 6 with the ball on the 7.
Hey, we're good.
Cross button.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Raiders just continue to roll. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Formation, play type, RPO, run, pass, quick, Y stick.
So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Carr will look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this one. No, okay.
Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mahomes. He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire.
Entering play call.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
6 categories.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And that will come the offense as they take over.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the third, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Inside zone split.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
HD blunt die. Inside zone split.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd and 7.
Going on the ground with Jacobs. Room here to run.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission.
I think you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Entering play call. AHB. Inside zone split.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 34. They run it with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
What now?
Cross button.
Running is Jacobs.
R2 button.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Here's Jacobs. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are 7 categories. You have 50 options. MT and AHP plunges. Inside zone split.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Play tight, RPO, run.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Entering play call, pick FGY shovel. On plan, there are player, there are 8 categories. Formation, there are play type, there are RPO, run, pass. Quick pass, there are 6, Y stick.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And finding Keelan Cole. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Entering play call, quick pass, there, play type, there, run. Inside handoff, inside zone split.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes, offensive line and running game imposing its will.
AHP, inside zone split.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Jacobs now. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Entering play call, AHP blunt dive, inside zone split.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Running it with Jacobs. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
It's showtime, baby.
AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a 1st down technically. 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jacobs. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Inside AHB blunt dive.
Down. Hey, we're good.
Cross button.
They'll try and run for it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
Entering play call, inside handoff. There are 7 categories. AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split.
Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Raiders. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories.
Carlson on for the PAT.
Options. That attempt is selected.
And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs.
You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. To throw, it's Mahomes.
And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
There are 6 categories.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Now it's Mahomes again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mahomes now to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
There are 6 categories.
What's the deal, y'all? Set it up, baby. Rock and roll, baby. Me and you, baby. Me and you. Who wants? Yellow.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Categories.
Running it with a fullback, Burton. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. No reason not to try it there. They do indeed convert on 4th.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed. It's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. Down inside the 10.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 35 yards.
And the Chiefs are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point by Butker is on target as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Entering play call, special teams, you have 6 options, return left is selected.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raiders heading out to take over.
And, you know, both of us gave these guys a real shot coming in here, but I don't think anyone saw this on the road with this lead in the playoffs. They've looked good a lot of times this year. This is probably as good as they've looked.
Well, it's been a textbook game for them because what you talk about as a visiting team is putting the pressure on the home team. And what puts more pressure on a home team than to be behind the entire game? Because the home crowd's there really for a coronation. They expect to win. And when you're behind, it takes the crowd out of the game. And then the crowd gets a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit frustrated with the home team. And that gives you an extra advantage. So they've done it perfectly. Big lead, put everything back on the home team, and they're capitalizing on it.
Right now, that crowd, silent.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
7 categories. You have 50 options. Empty and AHP plunge is selected. AHP blunt dive. Inside zone split.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
AHP blunt dive. Inside zone split.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, Jacobs. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
What now?
On third down, here comes Jacobs. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Inside AHP blunt dive.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And some room to work. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Play call, inside handoff, there are 7. Play type, there are RPO, special, pass, special, clock management, fix spike, for Houding heel.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Entering play call, clock management, there are 2 categories. You have 5 options. Spike ball is selected. Fix spike free, Houding heel.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
Entering post-game screen, you have 5 options. Finish game.